This will probably be, multiple vlogs because I don't want to do one whole vlog that encompasses the entire month. So we're going to break up Sci-Fi September for reading vlog purposes. And we're going to start out with this really fun idea that I had when I was picking this TBR. And it is going to be reading like Mooni reads. My friend Monica, her channel is Mooni Reads. She reads pretty much exclusively sci-fi. She's dabbled in fantasy. She don't like it. And that's fine because I still love her. She don't have to like fantasy. You don't have to like fantasy. I like fantasy and that's fine. But I am immersing myself in sci-fi this month. And because of that, I have 3 books on my TBR that are my Reading Like Monica books. The first one is Dune, which scares the shit out of me. I'm terrified of this book. Like, I think I'm gonna like it, but I'm also terrified that I'm not. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be smart enough to read this. I don't know. We'll see. The next book in my Reading Like Monica is Do You Dream of Terra-two? I know she loves this one. She has been harping on me to read this book. And you know what? I'm finally going to read it. I'm going to read it right now. And then the third book in my Reading Like Monica is the one that I'm starting tonight. And that is Good Morning Midnight. This is a nice little short one. It's not even 300 pages. I feel like I can fly through it. So we will see. I know she's warned me that it's kind of slow and it just meanders, and you know what, I'm okay with that because I just finished my Sarah Beth Durst reading vlog where I read a bunch of her books. I love her. She's probably my favorite author, but I'm okay with having something slower and chilled down now because Sarah Beth Durst books are like balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, like they are going the whole time. So I'm excited to get into this, and honestly I'm really excited because I got this at the Dollar Tree. It was $1. So, I mean, you can't pass up a $1 book, and it has deckled edges. That's a point in its favor right there, is deckled edges. So, we're going to start this, and I will let you know what I think. So, I'm a little over halfway through A Good Morning Midnight. I think Monica was right when she said I wasn't gonna love this. I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. It is a very slow, character-driven, atmospheric book. The writing is beautiful. The actual writing is fantastic, and the concept is really cool. So it's kind of post-apocalyptic. So we're following this 78-year-old man, and he is the last researcher in this Antarctic research station. And at some point the army comes and they're they get all the researchers out, and he's no, I'm staying. And they're you crazy, old man, because no one's coming back, there's an emergency. If you stay, you're staying. And he's I'm staying. So he stays. And then there's this little girl there with him that I'm pretty sure isn't really there, but I don't know. I just have this feeling that she's in his head, but it's him and this little girl, and he's just kind of there. It's very character driven. It's him reflecting on his life and decisions that he has made and how he ended up here, and valued career over everything, and how much that he's done and accomplished but given up. And he has heard like no communication from anybody, like for a very long time. And then we're also following this crew on this spaceship that is coming back from the first ever manned mission to Jupiter. And we're mainly following Sully, who is like a communication specialist, I believe. And she has a daughter back on Earth and an ex-husband. And they like lose communication with Earth and they don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't feel like we're going to get the answers that I want, which like it's fine. It's a very open book. It's definitely not fast or my norm, but it is good. I'm just not thinking that this is going to be like a new favorite of mine. Sorry, Monica. But, you know, I love you. There's definitely a lot of good things about it. I'm pretty sure I figured out who Sully is, though, and I'm mildly interested in that and her actual backstory. So we'll see how that works out. But basically, they can't contact Earth. I don't know. We don't know. Is it a plague? Was it a war? All we get was like one mention of war, like at the very beginning, and that's it. So like we don't know. Is this like an epidemic, a pandemic? Is this war? Is this like something else? Because it's like it feels like all humanity is gone at this point. Like Earth is radio silent, except for this old man and little girl in Antarctica and the spaceship. It's very much a book that gives you vibes. Like this gives me very cold vibes. This is very wintry because obviously it's set in like Antarctica. No, the Arctic Circle, maybe. I don't know. It's either in Antarctica or the Arctic Circle, like the northern. I don't know where this is. It could be in the North Pole. Like it just is frozen. It's frozen tundra. And then in space. I'm an idiot. So sci-fi is obviously not. That's why. But we're going to finish this and see if I'm right on some of my assumptions and some of the things that I'm thinking. As it sits, it's probably going to be about a 3-star because I love the writing. I'm just not interested super much, but I really want to know like the apocalyptic side, and I don't think we're gonna get that, so I'm gonna keep reading. Hey guys, so I have not updated because I haven't really read anything. I did finish Good Morning Midnight. I can't even remember if I updated y'all on that. I finished it. I gave it 3 stars. It was good. I can see why Monica likes it knowing her reading tastes. But it wasn't my favorite. But it wasn't bad either. It was really good. Just like the ending was very open, which I'm usually fine with. And I am fine with. I was actually really fine with the ending. It was just, it's so character driven. And I'm a pretty character driven reader. And like it's so character driven. There's like very minimal like actual plot. And there was almost like too many open questions. Like I want to know what the apocalyptic event was. I want to know more. And like I didn't get that. But atmospherically, this book is like 5 stars. Like the way the author like crafts the world and like uses the words on the page to like make you feel things, like A+. Like you definitely get the isolation and the cold and just this like overwhelming sense of loneliness while you're reading it. So it's fantastically written. It just didn't end up being like super for me. Gave it 3 stars. Still want to watch the movie that's apparently only loosely based on it with like George Clooney on Netflix. Didn't even know that was a thing. So I was talking to Monica about reading it, and it's funny because she's like, I don't think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna hate it. And I didn't hate it, Monica. I liked it. I just didn't love it. Ow. So I can't really move very quickly. I'll insert some footage. I only got a little bit and it's like weirdly orientated. But I went and got session number 2 on my back done. And I'm wrapped in Sanoderm, and it isn't the most pleasant feeling right now. Like, you can't really see it in this shirt. We did shading, so it's like you can, I'm not taking my shirt off for y'all. Sorry, y'all don't get that. Y'all don't want to see that anyway, especially not right now. Like wrapped in plastic. Yeah. Session number 2. We got a few more to go. You know, we did some shading. It's gonna get some color. Like, I'm excited. I need to read something tonight, but like, I don't know what. I'm just over here like, which one am I gonna pick up? Am I gonna pick up Dune or Terra-two? This one scares me more. Let's see. Like, that one, I just read like a chapter and I'm like, what is going on? I don't even know what this book about. What is it? A century ago, an astronomer discovered an Earth-like planet orbiting a nearby star. She predicted one day humans would travel there and build a utopia. Today, 10 astronauts are leaving everything behind to find it. 4 are veterans of the 20th century space race, and 6 are teenagers who've trained for this mission most of their lives. It will take the team 23 years to reach Terra-two. 23 years locked in close quarters. 23 years with no one to rely on but each other. 23 years with no rescue possible should something go wrong. And something always goes wrong. You know what? This one scares the poop out of me. So, we're going with Do You Dream of Terra-two next. So, I'm about to start that. I don't know how much I'll get into it tonight because I still have some other stuff to do, but we're going to start it at least. Sorry about the, like, lights. It's ridiculous. I'm sitting in the parking lot at work waiting for somebody to get here with a key because I've been sitting here since, like, 7 and it's now 7:40 because I don't have a key to the office. And the girl has to be at cross country at like 7 a.m. So I just like dropped her off and came and waited because I was like, I don't want to go to breakfast. I don't want to do anything. So I came and like played on my phone and I read a little bit. So now I'm just hanging out waiting for someone to get here and let me in. But I wanted to update you. I did manage to read 125 pages of Do You Dream of Terra-two? And I'm glad that I picked this one because so far I'm really enjoying it. I got through the whole like first part, so now I'm on like part 2. And I'm gonna hopefully read a bunch more today. I have gymnastics after school. Oh, my kids are gonna be so tired. The girl has gymnastics after school. She had cross country this morning. Like cross country, then school, then gymnastics, like then homework. Like she gonna be tired. Like super tired. But so far, I'm really liking Do You Dream of Terra-two. I wasn't 100% sure what to think about it because sometimes I'm a little like kid astronauts, but like this is done really well so far. We're following these kids that are like 17 and they've gone through this like intensive training program because they need people to like go and colonize Terra-two, which is like this Earth-like planet, but like the journey is like 23 years long. So they wanted like young people to send, so they weren't like super old, I guess, when they get there. But then there's like adults going with them, so it's like more experienced astronauts. It's really cool already. I can tell this is definitely, again, a very character-driven book. It's I mean, it's a lot more plot heavy than like Good Morning Midnight, but it's definitely a character book with some plot. But I'm enjoying it, so I'll update you later. Hopefully someone's here to let me in work because I have to pee. Hey guys, how are you doing? It's been a hot minute since I've actually like updated, but man, there's been a lot. It's been crazy. It's been just like busy. Book wise, I'm still reading Do You Dream of Terra-two? I'm actually probably about to finish it before I go pick up the girl from school. She has track today, so she's there a little late. So then he'll stay at aftercare a little late. I ended up having like a bunch of stuff to do, so I took the day off work. So I'm probably going to finish Do You Dream of Terra-two before I go pick them up. But as you can see, I think I inserted the footage before, we put together the kids' new beds, and like the beds are up now. But I still have like a lot to do. I finally got like their stuff back in there. So I have these like 3 massive bins. So I have to like go through these bins, see what we're keeping, what we're not, what we're getting rid of. I ordered 2 rugs, one for under each of the lofts, and then 2 little, like, what do you call those things? Like beanbag chair kind of for under. And then I got some fairy lights that I'm going to put above, like on the bottom of the loft. But I also had to get like a staple gun because we don't have one and you need that. It's the whole thing. I'm super itchy right now because of my back healing. And then, you know, that's fun. And then I had a super exciting weekend because this past Friday, I went to dinner with Alan and Leslie and Evie and like all the significant others. And y'all, it was so much fun. Like, I've met Alan and Leslie before. Leslie a couple times that we've hung out. I've met Alan once before. It's my first time meeting Evie and her husband. And y'all, it's just like meeting those people that it's like you feel like you've known them forever. And they're just... everyone got along so well. We all just had a great time just having dinner and talking. We got pictures. Like, it was just so much fun. And it's really cool. Like, people from the internet come together and it's like strangers from the internet and you're gonna get murdered from strangers on the internet. But like, it was a good time. Just a good time. I did have a meeting with the boys' teachers this morning at school and I'm a little stressed about it. But it's fine. If you don't know, which you probably don't, I don't know if I've ever talked about it. A couple years ago, Luca got asked not to return to a daycare that he was at, that he'd been at for a while. Basically because he had like an emotional meltdown and he wouldn't calm down. Which I still thought like it was handled inappropriately. I think I have talked about it before and they were like, oh, he was being bad, so they put him in timeout, so he was crying, and they were like, oh, well, you're not getting Kona Ice now because you're not coming down, and then he started freaking out more, and then they're like, oh, well, we're not going outside now, so he's freaking out more, and then they called me to come get him and said he's not allowed to come by. He was 3. Okay, he was 3. He's almost 5 now. And so whatever, they just had me convinced that he was like a terrible kid. Well, I was so stressed before this meeting, and then I went in, my husband and I, and they were so great. They were so, so great. But there's, we're still having that emotional reaction to change, to like transitioning from one task to another. Like, okay, we're going to put up these toys and we're going to go or whatever. And it's like an over the top emotional reaction. And he just kind of melts down, but it's not the same as like a tantrum because like it's completely different than when he has a tantrum. So we are going to actually speak with his pediatrician on Monday, so a week from now, which he had an appointment anyway, so I'm just going to talk to him about potential screenings and coping mechanisms and what I can do. We're not sure, like nobody brought it up per se, but it was very insinuated that there is a chance that he could have some sensory things going on, some processing, some like autism spectrum somewhere in there. So we're just going to cover all of our bases and ask about screenings for that, for like ADHD, which that would make sense as well. And, I brought up, my daughter, she's dyslexic. We had a dyslexia diagnosis for her. So I don't know if that, runs in the family. I don't know. So we're just going to do what we can do and see what the doctor says, see what happens, work on some coping mechanisms. This is all very uncharted water for me. So we're figuring out as we go, right? We don't know what we're doing. We're figuring it out as we go. So right now though, I'm going to read the rest of Do You Dream of Terra-two. And I did tell you how far am I? I'm almost 400 pages. There's like 100 and something pages, 120 pages left. I'm really enjoying Do You Dream of Terra-two. It's not 100. I mean, I expected it to be like a slow sci-fi, but I didn't expect it to be, I guess what it is. I thought for some reason that we were going to follow the entire like 23-year journey that these kids are on this spaceship, but we're not. We are only, I'm almost to the end and they've only been there a year. So I was a little like, oh, I thought we were going to like cover their whole lives and until they get to the planet, but I'm really liking it. There's some things that I'm confused about. Like, I understand in concept why we would want to send like teenagers to the new planet because it takes 23 years to get there, but they're still teenagers. Like, that's the issue. Is like they're still children. Like, we're sitting, like, we have adults with them, but it's like we're literally relying on children. Like, yes, they're like well trained, whatever. They've been through this like amazing schooling and they're like geniuses, but like we're still relying on children. That's like the one thing I don't get. And then they do mention at some point, they're like, oh, well, when we get there, we will, like, when they send more people from like more crews, they're like, oh, well, we'll send pregnant women in cryo sleep. And I'm like, well, if you had the technology to send people in cryo sleep, especially pregnant women, like, why wouldn't you send everybody in cryo sleep and then just have like none of these issues? I don't know. That part didn't like fully make sense to me, but whatever. I'm still enjoying myself. So let's see how I feel. Hey guys. So normally I would do like subscription box unboxings. I would just wait and then I would wait to open them until I do like my bulk filming, but I didn't want to wait. So I figured what better to do than to open this super exciting box for y'all. And y'all alone. And then eventually I will film like a video of it. But today, my Illumicrate edition of the Night Circus came in. And I can't wait. So we are going to open this together. Got my little stand over here. So we're just going to do it. So we are just going to open this and hope it's as beautiful as I hope it is. Because these Illumicrate boxes are not cheap. Oh, I'm so excited. Y'all, Erin Morgenstern can do no wrong, in my opinion. I love her. She only has 2 books out, and I don't care. So we've got the card, which, duh, we're not even going to look at yet. We've got whatever this massive thing is. I don't even know what's in the box. I haven't looked at anything. I just like ordered it and then that was that. So, I think it's a tea set or a teacup. The Night Circus Tea for One. If I can get the box open. It seems to be decently packaged at least. Oh, it's a little... So... Oh. Oh no. My whole... Okay, we're gonna have to... That's... sad. That makes me sad. Cool. Hopefully their like exchange isn't like bad because that's irrefixable. Like I can't glue that back together. So so far no. All right, we've got the lid to the pot right here. It's really pretty. Oh, I can already tell. It's broken. Like, oh, cool. I mean, I don't even know how, okay. We're gonna get like a feel for how this would look. So it would, I can't even like hold this. It would look like this. And it's cute. But that sucks. Cool. So we're not winning right now. We are not winning. I mean, that's just damaged. Oh, look, is this not broken? That's cool. The teacup's not broken. And it's really pretty. That's a big teacup too. Like the one I got in another box, was it a Illumicrate? Or it might have been the last Illumicrate box. It was like a teeny little teacup. This is a big teacup. I would drink out of this. But that is the only thing in this box that was not broken. I haven't updated for this vlog in a bit, but I got a lot to tell you. So I finished Do You Dream of Terra-two? And I really enjoyed it. I have some feelings. I gave it 4 stars. There's some things I'm questioning. There's some things I didn't love, like some things that didn't make sense, but all in all, I really liked this. This is so much fun, and I can definitely see why Monica loves it, because this like just screams Monica, right? Like this is so good, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that y'all would enjoy it too. I apparently am not a big hard sci-fi fan, but this is fun. It's like teens and space travel, and it's not like fun like The Disasters is. This is more like serious and somber, but it was really, really good. Now, y'all all gonna hate me. I started reading Dune, and I made it 130 pages, and I'm DNFing it. I don't know if I will pick it back up at some point. I just can't get into it. I'm really struggling with this, but I'm struggling. I don't connect with any of the characters. I don't care. Like everyone's like, oh my God, you'll love Jessica, the mom. And like, she's the only one that I kind of sort of like, but like, I still don't feel like a connection to her. And after 130 pages, I feel like I should get some kind of connection. And like, so far from what I can tell of the villain, he's like, just like a mustache twirling fat dude. who I think is gay, if I remember right. Like, I don't know. I have some feelings. I might finish it, but then I'm spoiled for it. Let's be real. We know me, like, unpopular opinion, I spoil myself for books, especially if I'm not feeling them. Like, I will just spoil myself and be like, well, maybe I'll like the ending and where it goes. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, I want to see the journey. And honestly, and I've talked to like friends of mine who also did not love this. And I'm like, okay, I finally feel justified because it's like everyone loves this. But I'm like, am I crazy? Like, why am I not liking this book that everybody loves? And I wanted to love it. Like, in a video previously, I talked about how I really, really loved the, like, pretty edition that they had. But, like, I'm really glad I didn't buy it because, like, I didn't like this. And I'm thinking I might hang on to it, but I just don't care, y'all. Like, do you see this mess of shelves? Like, I have so much crap to read that I don't think, I even took the bookmark out. Like, I'm done. I'm unhauling, I'm DNFing, it's going in the unhaul pile. I don't want to finish it. And I'm so sorry for those of you that love it. I am not one of those people that ended up loving this. I had a lot of issues, and then after reading, like, some spoilers and, like, talking to friends who read it, like, I'm like, like, I don't have a desire, so. Unpopular opinion, did not like Dune. It's going straight in the unhaul pile, like, right now. Right over there. But, all in all, I think my reading like Monica was a success. I already know we both like soft sci-fi, quiet sci-fi. So, like, we were satellites, which I have a full review for, and I'll link her video talking about it. Like, we both have that in common, right? We have a lot of things in common, just not all of our book tastes. Like, let's be real. She's a sweetheart. I adore her, like, as on a human level. I love Monica. But our reading tastes don't always line up. So we both loved the disasters. We were satellites. There's others that, like, we both really enjoyed, but, like, I ended up really enjoying Do You Dream of Terra-two that we both ended up enjoying. Good Morning Midnight, I liked but didn't love, but, like, it was still good, and I can see why Monica liked it because it's that, like, more quiet sci-fi, like, just, like, kind of into the worldy, quiet sci-fi, just, like, slice of life. Really, really good. This one was my favorite of all of these. I might unhaul this just to pass it on to someone else because I will not reread it and I need room on my shelves. But if this goes in an unhaul, it will be just because I'm passing it on to, like, a friend as opposed to, ew, I don't like this, get out of here. So, I honestly am very happy. I'm happy with my Reading Like Monica experience. Let me know what you think of some of these books. Like, is my opinion on Dune super unpopular? Do you also like Do You Dream of Terra-two? And do you want a sequel? Because I do. I want to Do You Dream of Terra-two sequel. Like, Still Dreaming of Terra-two. Something. Because that would be really, really cool. I'd love to see that. Let me know what's your thoughts. Should I do another booktuber at some point, you know, coming up in the future? Like, should I pick 3 books that someone else that I follow and talk to and really enjoy? Like, let me know. Let me know your suggestions on, like, the next person I should do this with. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.